about it before I did it.
So I already primed my eyes with some concealer, and now I'm going to go in with the 39A palette. This is from Morphe. This was supposed to be a limited edition palette, but I saw on Instagram that they're going to start selling more and that it's not limited edition anymore, which I wish I would have known because I did want to buy some other palettes, but I bought this one first because I thought that it was limited edition. Every time I did makeup for girls, they wanted me to use this palette and they wanted to buy it. This palette is so big. I want to start using more palettes, so I do have some little ones here that I've had for so long and I haven't been using. I do have a ton of palettes. I know I usually only use certain palettes, but I have a ton and I need to start using them. So I take this 221 brush and go in with the shade right here. I love this color. It's like a cranberry color. It's like a deep cranberry color and it's so pretty. As you can see, it's really pigmented. I'm also going to take this 228 brush and just start blending this out a little bit, not too much. We're going to go in more with it later. So I just packed on that color. I had to fix the lighting, so hopefully you can see a little better. For some reason my camera's been going out of focus a lot lately and I don't know why. Girl, I haven't even used this shade before on myself and I don't know why. Like, it's so pretty. I've been looking at it for the longest time and I was like, I need to make a video about this. Every time I put a bright color down, I always go in with a clean brush and really just blend it out. Because even if you don't know what you're doing, if you know how to blend, everything looks good. Blending is the key. There's a bunch of different ways that you can go about tucking a shade under your waterline. You can just sort of blend it down, but I don't like to do that because with bigger brushes it is harder and you can get fallout. So I'm just gonna make things easier right now and take this 234 brush, go in with that same color we've been using. It is gonna look a little harsh at first. So I'm gonna take this 222 brush and start blending that, and I'm just going to wing this outwards as I'm blending it so that it all looks like one shape and not all over the place. It's okay if that shadow goes a little bit too far down. Personally, I don't mind. If you really want it to be like super precise, then of course you can go in with like a more precise brush, but I really like the way that this looks. I do need to deepen this, so it is going to look super light right now, but we're going to go in and fix that in a second. And this is another thing that you can do if you don't want to use tape. Like, I don't like to use tape. If you just want to get that shape of your eye naturally, you can go by this, sort of like when you're doing your eyeliner. I'm going to take more of that same color and now really start blending that in. And before I go in with any more shadow, I'm just going to clean this side up a little bit just because it does bother me. Like, if I don't clean things up right away, I can't wait till the end. So now I'm just going to go in on the other eye and do the same thing. I'm going to deepen this a little bit more and go back in with that same shade on this 231 brush. And I'm only putting this in the crease. So now I'm going to take this 223 brush and go in with the shade right here. And I'm only going to place it on my crease once again and on the inner part of my eye. Things look like they have more depth. Also, it's gonna be very messy at first, just packing on those shadows, but girl, it has to be ugly before it's cute. And then after I do that, I just do a sweeping motion across, really just making sure I'm only getting the top part and not all in this area right here. So we're gonna be adding a different color there later. Now to blend that out, I'm gonna go back in with this 225 brush and start blending all of those colors. First, I'm gonna blend this darker shadow that I put down out into the first color, so it really just looks like everything's nice and blended. And girl, today was like the worst day of my life. I had to go take my tests for me to graduate early so that I can start college. So my old ID that I had, I lost it, and so when I got a new one, it had the wrong last name on it. Because since my dad is a terrible person, he wasn't there when I was born. So my stepdad, which is the person that I call my real dad, I took his last name, which is Cardenas. And so my ID, when I went to go get my new one, my mom gave them the wrong birth certificate. And so they put Cardenas. And then on top of that, they spelled my name in Alicia. So, and the lady, when we got to the testing place, it was a different lady than the lady that took care of us last time. And she was so rude, like she was screaming at my mother. And she was like, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. That's all I'm gonna tell you. And I was like, girl. She was like, we need to keep up with our perfect testing, what did she say? With our perfect something that included like not letting people take tests unless they have the correct verification and everything. Like, girl, it was clearly me. So I'm gonna try and talk and do this at the same time. So I didn't have that ID, the one that said Cardenas. So I went home, tore my room apart and the hallway closet and found the one that says Cardenas. And my mom was like, they're not gonna let you test because it says Cardenas. And my last name is Garcia Pina, it's hyphenated, I have 2 last names. I was like, let's just try. I need to get these 2 tests done. I'm already ready. I need to enroll into college quickly because I don't want to be late with everything and I really just want to get school over with. I don't want to go to college. It's not like my main thing, but it is a backup plan for if things that I want to do don't work out, but I'm very confident in what I do and I know that I can be somebody that I want to be. So the whole reason that I'm doing college, which is a bad reason, is because you know, not just the whole image of it, but my mom really wants me to go through college, and I guess it is a good thing, but in my opinion, school isn't for everyone. That's just how I am. I don't like getting into that because there's people that are like, oh my god, like, you don't want to go to school. I firmly believe in getting an education and all of that and going to school and taking advantage of all of that. It's just not my thing. I've always had really bad experiences in school. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think that's an excuse and like, girl, you're 17, you don't know what you're talking about. It's not going to school that's the problem. It's the things that I've had to go through. I had to move schools because I was threatened by my dad. It's just a whole thing and I can't talk about it. So I want to do that in a different video and really just make sure everything is right because a lot of people do want to know the story with my dad. I get sidetracked so easily. So I went to the DPS office and it was like 11 and it's 20 minutes away from the testing center. So the drive there, and then there was a line outside the parking lot, of course, you know, whatever, and I was not gonna wait. My mom didn't want to wait. It was so hot outside. So we went back to the house, looked for some other thing that I could use for identification because it has to be either a photo ID, a passport, and stuff like that. And the passport that I have is from when I was a little girl because I went to Mexico at that time. They didn't take that, but the first time they let me take the other parts of the test that I needed, and I only need these 2 parts of the test, and they were like, you're not allowed to do that, like that's illegal, but they let me do it before, so it wasn't a problem. So technically it's not really my fault. And you have to pay to take the test, so it's about 100 something. It may not seem like a lot, but when you're constantly paying for different test subjects, it's ridiculous. So I didn't want my mom to have to pay again, so I tried so hard today. Like, I was literally calling everywhere that I could to see what I could do. And girl, we tried everything. Like, we literally went back and forth to the same place about 6 times. I was getting a little discouraged, girl, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Like, I'm just, you know. And on top of that, the test subject that I was taking was for math and science, which I'm confident in. Science, history, English, I've always been super good with those subjects, but math is just something I really struggle with. And I've been studying. Even when I was in Austin and I was dying, I was studying on my phone in the hospital. Like, I've literally been putting so much effort into just getting this stuff done, and it's really like time consuming. I'm not a slow learner, but when it comes to math, that's something that I just can't seem to pick up. I don't know what it is. It's just very complicated and hard for me. So, and my mom's best friend ordered green screens, lighting for videos and photo shoots that we'll be doing in the future, which I'm really excited about because I don't want this to be my background forever. I really need to invest in backdrops. I had some, they didn't work out, and I ended up getting rid of them because I don't want it to be like ugly. I want it to be very professional, and I just want to make sure everything is perfect. That's how my day went. It was very annoying, but I had some good news, and that is that my shirts will be ready for tomorrow for Pink Supply, so I get to go over those. I was drawing today for some new designs that I came up with because I have a bunch of different art books that when I first came up with the concept of Pink Supply, I designed some stuff and came up with these ideas, and I never got around to them, so now is the perfect time. And I'm gonna make stickers, pants, shorts, everything that I can. I just want to do everything, really. The design that I drew up myself, I have to redo it because I got lipstick on it. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is like turning into a longer video than what it should be. I put that in the center. I really want it to pop, so the darker tones really help that pop out more. This is the customizable Buxom palette, and this was Wilson's mom. She gave it to me. She gives me so much stuff, and it's literally like heaven. I don't know what the shade names are. It doesn't say in the back because it does say that this is a customizable palette. This purple metallic shade, oh my god. this 237 brush and some setting spray. I did say that I was going to start talking about products that I like in the beginning of videos. I'm going to do any part of the video because sometimes I forget. This is the Tatcha Luminous Skin Mist, and this setting spray is a lifesaver. I highly recommend this one. Of course, it's bougie. Tatcha's not cheap. The packaging's cute. I also love this Pixie Rose Water and Green Tea setting spray. This is very popular, so I'm pretty sure you've heard of this. I'm going to use this rose water one and just coat the brush in setting spray, and then go in with that purple, which this is going to be super intense. Oh my god. And I'm just going to place this in the center. Metallic shades are godsend. While applying this, I'm just going to sort of tuck it in. So you can see when I'm packing this shade on, you can tell right here where your crease is, and you really just want to pack it in there and just tuck the rest of it. Get a decent amount of the metallic shade or whatever you want to put there, but not too much because you do want the other colors to show, and you do have to blend it so it doesn't look harsh. This shade again, I'm really gonna start packing that on again and just blending it inwards, but not touching it too much because you don't want that shadow to mix with that metallic shade, because then that metallic shade is gonna move and it's gonna get all over the shadow that you just took hours blending, girl. So do not mix that, girl. For this part, this is when you're gonna go over that metallic shade and really just add in more depth. Once again, it's all about depth and darkening your looks and just making them look like you have a lot more talent. If you have bright pigmented eyeshadow looks, you're talented, girl. So I'm gonna take this 226 brush and really precisely, without touching the metallic shade. And it does look harsh because I haven't blended it out yet, so just give me a second. So to blend that, I'm going to take this 231 brush, blend that outwards, and just make everything look like it's blended together nicely. Now I'm going to put some lashes on, and then I will show you up close what everything looks like. I love how you can still see that metallic shade, that hint of purple. It's so beautiful. I'm going to go in with this matte liquid lipstick, and this is in the shade Revel. I'm going to go over this with a gloss. So this is the final look. Thank you for watching this makeup tutorial. Hopefully you learned something new. I try and go in depth as much as I can. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you know every time I post.